Hey guys, Chris, Ironhead Garage. Oh, I've been working on this old GMC some more. You can see I did get the frame cut off. I just put my my pattern I made on there and cut it. On this side too, over here, I did the same. I got that side cut to the pattern. I had to notch this pattern a little bit for those rivets, so they would so the pattern would get a little closer. So there's that side. I can always take a little bit more off of this, you know, a little bit more off of it, anything, but don't want to cut too much at the beginning. So this is my frame, subframe pattern. I took the 1/8 of an inch off of that bottom because now I made it to this frame, and that pattern being flat originally was the height of that frame. So if I take this pattern and I set it in there, get that bottom nice and flat. Look at that. It's pretty tight. Looks like it's going to work good. So if I'm too tight up here on the top, I can always take a little bit more material off. Easier to take it off than to put it back on. But I got it pretty good on this side too. There it is. So the next step is to cut the subframe. So I'm going to cut this off first here. This is that longer side on the passenger side. And then I'm going to notch this and then cut that slot in here, 1/8 of an inch. And I got to do the bottom too, so that'll slot into that frame. So got the saws all out and the grinder. We'll get on it. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, well, I'm getting this subframe notched up. I got the notch there. I got a slice there. And I got a slice through the bottom. I'll have to open these up a little bit, but the accurate measurement is this side of the frame from here. So I'll have to open it up towards the inside. Same on this side. This is the side that I left longer. I got a slice in there. I'll have to open it up this way. And this is the accurate side. And I got a nice slice down the bottom there. Sawzall, man's best friend. Even that cheap Ryobi, just it's got the speed control on it. Just keep them on low, man. You can steer them right around, but as you can see, it's a two-piece frame. They're spot welded together, and not very good either from the factory. So you can see the sliver on there, left from the other side. So I'm gonna take this all off, this sliver, so it don't rock on the inside, and this part of the frame here will sit nice and flat on the inside of this frame. Same on that side there. From where I cut it there, you can see the slice. I'll take this little sliver off so this sits nice and flat on there. Then I noticed another piece I got a notch. You can see this bracket here. See the light kind of dark, but it comes out about a strong 1/8 of an inch. On the bottom it clears, so my frame here can stay the same on the bottom, but on this top here I'll have to relieve this, whatever that measurement is, 1/4 by, looks like an inch or so, so a little notch out of there, so this all goes tight to the frame. Maybe you can see better on this side. There you go. Clears nice on the bottom there. So I'll just have to notch that part of the frame there too. Little relief cut there, but yeah, I think I'm gonna get my my cutting wheel probably and cut this slot bigger. I've done everything with the Sawzall so far. I might be able to do this with the Sawzall, but I think I can get a thicker cutting wheel in there and just slice it. Then this pattern Yeah, it's a little bit thicker than or thinner than an eighth. Then that pattern will slide in there, and I can check it and see how it's gonna fit. See if that rake mates up to there once I slide this in. So yeah, take your time with the Sawzall. You can work miracles. And I got some scrap pieces of metal to work with too. All right, back on it. All right, well, I got the subframe all notched up. There's that side with the slot. Here's the driver's side with the slot in it. So here's my pattern of my frame. It'll go something like that. Looks like it'll fit. It's hanging down on the bottom because of this frame there is going on the bottom. I notice on this side I might have to make the slot a little bit further, but I want to try it all. I don't want to cut too much away. But that's how it goes, like that. That frame will go and set in there just like so. Yeah, pretty slick. I did do the notches here for the cab mount brackets. I might take this strip off. I'm not sure. I'm gonna get it in there, dry fit it all, and see how it fits. You can see down in there. Yeah, this ain't my crooked cut here. That was some of that other frame on there. There's this piece there. I believe it went like that. That's what I took off. So the frame sets level in there. Got the bottom clean. But I'll clean all this to raw metal and clean the frame when I go to weld it all. So I think I want to try to snake this subframe in there and see how it fits. But I got a hell of a mess going. Grinding dust and metal shavings everywhere. I used that cutting wheel Tim that I got from Tim. Work killer. A few Sawzall blades, mostly the Sawzall. Just take your time, it works pretty good. But here on this side too, I might take that strip off of there from the other frame. But we'll see, we'll get it in there and see if it works. I'm anxious to see myself. Alright, we'll clean the stuff up and try to get this on a jack and try to roll it into there, see what it looks like. Alright guys, I got her in there. My jack wouldn't go high enough, so I had to use that big ass block of wood, but I need a little persuading. There it is. I'm not quite touching back here yet. I got a shy eighth. I think it's hitting in here in that slot. But slid in there pretty nicely. I got a little gap back here. And that's a little gap, but that's alright. I think I'm going to cut them back a little bit. I just got a couple clamps on it there. And on that side. So I think I'm going to cut this back a little bit here. And cut this angle back maybe a ½ inch or so. Because I want to be able to put a filler piece of stock in there. In this spot here. Like my cardboard here. Something like that. A piece of square stock. That'll fill this whole cavity up. And I'll have this angle. Then I can weld the top. I can weld the bottom. And then with this piece being cut back a ½ inch, I'll be able to weld the inside of my filler stock and then be able to weld the frame to the filler stock. So I'll have a big thick weld here. Everything will be welded together. I'll be able to weld here and around there and down the bottom. And I'll weld across this bottom before I put the filler stock in there. I'll put a bead of weld on the inside of the frame to the top of this frame and up that channel, and then put that filler stock in there like so, and then be able to weld here, and then be able to weld on the top too and in the back. So she's going to be bomb proof, I believe, but need a little persuading, a little trimming. I tried knocking it back with my dead blow hammer, but it just kind of stops. I got that little gap there, and I got to be tight there to have my wheelbase right. So I'm gonna pull this pig back out and do a little bit of slicing and dicing, see if I can get it nice and tight in there. But pretty cool. She's gonna be super low. Maybe I'll mock that fender up in that wheel on there and see what it looks like. Alright guys, coming along. Hey, I just wanted to bring you back. I grabbed that fender just to see what it's going to kind of look like. Don't mind the wheel being so tight to the fender, but that's the look right there. Man, she's cool looking. Wheel's got to go in a bunch. It's just sitting against the hub. But and then the wheel's up a little bit from the rotor, but the suspension ain't compressed, so that lip should go up into the fender more. But yeah, it looks pretty good and centered. It's going to come back a little bit, so you can see 3/4 of an inch or so. It's going to be just about perfect, but it looks pretty trick. She's going to be super low. Hopefully my fender don't fall off, but yeah, that's what I'm going for. Man, I'm stoked to get this thing all done and on the road. Get that acid lower too. It's gonna be a sweet old truck. Alright guys, let me get that subframe out of there. Do a little whittling. Alright, I had it pulled out of there and on the ground, and did a little bit of cutting and tweaking, slicing and dicing, but I got it in there tight now. So I scribed me a couple lines. Get the flashlight. I don't know if you can see or not, but there's those lines. I want to cut that truck frame back a 1/2 inch. So when I put this, I went down and got some filler stock metal. So when I put my filler piece in there with this angle on it to go on top of that subframe, whatever that measurement is, and the length, so it'll be box metal, and then I'll be able to weld that to the subframe. And then if this was my frame, my truck frame, I'll be able to weld that to this filler piece. But it's nice and tight against the cab mount now. My wheelbase is correct. I measured it a couple 10 times. And over here, I got it. I got the line scribed on there, and it's back tight against the cab mount. And she's dead level on the bubble. And I squared it off the rivets on the back of the truck, the cross members, and anywhere I could square, I squared it here and there and everywhere, every spot I could find. Like all these holes, I believe these are like probably guide holes when they go to put all this on the subframe at the factory. You know, they have pins. They had to line up in all these pin holes, the ones that are the same, not these 20 that are on the cross member, but that's the way they did it back in the day. They would have a guide, and the pin holes would go in there and hold whatever their bracket they were welding on, so it got in the right spot. So some of those holes you can use, and some of them are different, so you just got to watch out, and you'll be able to tell right away which ones are different. But I cross measured it everywhere I could, and it seems to be dead nuts square, so, and dead nuts level, and the truck frames were level. I had to get my other floor jack because my concrete in the shop is pitched that way to drain out that door. so it was kind of sagging on this side a little bit. But it seems nice and flat on the bottom of the frame back there. And over here, I got a couple clamps on it. So now, I need to take it out again and grind all this metal clean, make it nice, and get it ready for welding the truck frame in the cross member, and get her back in here one more time and start spot welding it in, make sure it don't move, and check it for level, and make sure it stays square. And I just take my time. It's not a race for me. I just want to make sure everything comes out right. And once I get those insides welded in there, then I can build my my filler stock to put in there, and then totally bomb-proof weld it all. But this video is getting long again, and I guess we'll stop it here pretty quick, and I'm gonna get this frame out, see what I can do, get messy and grind all this stuff clean, and get that old miller fired up. I haven't even tried it in my shop yet. I tried it in my buddy's shop and it worked good, but when I got the cord and everything to start burning metal with it, I just got to practice a little bit with it, make sure it's gonna go good. I believe it will, but yep, it's gonna be pretty cool. So maybe next time I'll be burning her in, get her all prepped up and ready to go. Well, hopefully this video helps somebody out one day. I didn't know much about it by myself, but there's a few videos, but nothing that really shows you what to do. You just got to figure it out. It ain't rocket science. She ain't a spaceship, but should work pretty good. All right, guys. Top Fuel Harleys. We'll catch you next time. Guys, take care. Appreciate you.